Although it brings nostalgia and feelings of missing out, as we get older, we start to disconnect from having certain hobbies. Some of us don't even really have hobbies anymore to like have real hobbies. And if you do, you can't put as much time into it as you truly want to. That's what I miss most personally. Like I remember being younger, hop on a game and just chill out, and I could immerse myself into whatever hobby or hobbies I had, and I didn't get cut short because I had to go to work, I had to go to school, I had other responsibilities to take care of and so forth. And I mean, it's just part of growing up, that's why adults stop having real hobbies anymore too. Also, society always feels like if you're doing something with your time, it needs to be monetized or showcased as something to flex to people on social media or something about you feel that pressure a little bit. I feel that way about monetization though. Like I kind of work that way. Like I got bills to pay. I find it very difficult to just sit there and goof off knowing that I could hustle with something else in my life and make money out of it, because the times I don't focus on money or focus on trying to make my life stable, I start complaining about my life. I barely got money in my bank account to afford this. My health is getting bad and I'm gaining weight. I'm lonely, even though I'm literally in my room all day and night. And, I've always been asocial on Discord anyway. I never liked talking to people in general. But this is what I mean. I already know my circumstances. I know myself enough where, like, I'm not a super social guy and I got responsibilities. If I do nothing or be lazy or use it to goof off with my hobbies that I'm passionate about, that don't add any value to my life besides pleasure, my life begins to suffer. And I start building bad habits that are very difficult for me to break. And I think a lot of adults understand this too, this feeling as well, and ultimately know that you have to give up something like a hobby or something fun that you wanted to do or plan to do. Also, the thing about getting older and having responsibilities is that when you start working, you have to deal with the lifestyle of work, right? You got to deal with other people, your boss, your manager, and so forth, right? And you just work and you're on your feet or something. It's literally draining, right? So when you come home and decide you want to pick up a new hobby or a project or something, you're ready to mentally train to do it. But if you force yourself to do it, you end up screwing up your schedule because you're staying up late, or you get frustrated with your skill set of the hobby. And what does that mean, right? Aku, what are you talking about? You get frustrated with the skill set of the hobby. So I mentioned that for a reason. This is why when I was younger and more free with my responsibilities, like I didn't have much, I noticed this was very unfair for me to do, but I was harsher towards other people who I would play games with online. Some people, they hop on an online game after spending all day working, right? And they're obviously going to be fatigued. And, giving them a hard time for their skill set is unfair to them, to be honest. They don't have all the time and mental energy like you do. And, or like I did when I sat there and grinded out my movement or my aim. Hey, I was only working like a few hours, you know what I'm saying? But some make the argument, well, Aku, this is why casual mode exists in games. Yo, that's not even a fair argument, because y'all be toxic in that too. Literally, y'all be toxic in ranked games and casual games. But that's just besides the point, right? I'm digressing. When we were younger, we could invest more time into our hobbies, and we were able to spend enough time to make enough mistakes to actually go through the learning curve. And this allowed us to grind out certain things in games, right? Or get really good at certain hobbies. But when you get older, you get so accustomed to life, essentially treating every mistake or every action that you do with a consequence towards your professional life, that you end up being harsh on yourself when you take on hobbies. It's like your brain has become reprogrammed to not feel the same enjoyment you would get out of hobbies. Like me personally, even when I pick up a new hobby or project that I was once excited for, like I can't wait. When I get home, I'm gonna pick this thing up, bro. I can't wait. I can't wait to try this thing out. But then once I see the learning curve, sometimes I'm just like, bruh, like, I don't got time to sit here and learn this. Like, seriously, I was excited for this, but now I see this, it's like, I don't got time for this right now. This is too much. I would love to do this, but, hey, dude, like, bro, I can't sit here and learn all these mechanics. I can't read all the, like, bro, like, I have other things to take care of in my life, bro. Investing my time doing all of this doesn't make my life any easier, by the way. And that's the main thing. That's the main thing I tell myself. Like, does this really make my life easier, or is this going to make things more complicated for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, does this actually help my life at all? And then I just like, you know what? I was excited for it. But I just can't involve myself in it anymore. I got stuff to do. I'm a grown man. You know what I'm saying? So now I pick up hobbies that are more in the background. Like I said in several videos already about Pokemon Go, right? That's easy for me. It's 3 for 1. Working out, walking the dogs, and gaming. Pokemon Go, easy. That's a background hobby. I don't got to sit there. When I would go to the gym, That would be another background hobby. I could listen to audiobooks while I'm working out. That's 2 for 1. YouTube is kind of a hobby for me too, technically. But see, this is what I was talking about with the societal pressure thing, or how society has done it. Like, this falls under the monetization thing. Like, I like to get more out of my time besides just writing down my thoughts and just yapping in a YouTube video, right? Like, this makes my life easier making these videos. I get a small check per month. I guess this is a hobby that ended up being something that I feel like I can monetize, but I don't know. I gotta really think about that. Like, this is fun to me. I enjoy making videos and just like talking about things going on in my life and just in my head. But you know, I'm finding it useful for my time, if that makes sense. There's so many other things though that I would want to do that isn't transactional, right? Hobbies that might be expensive too that I want to do. But see, that's another thing. I didn't even mention that. Sometimes hobbies are financially restrictive. Like, you can't even do certain hobbies unless you have a specialized equipment for it, especially when it comes to crafts and sports. Bro, I'm going to a wedding in a few months, and Shorty gave out her registry list or something. They got all these pots and pans and baking equipment and machinery. These things are like hundreds of bucks. Bro, we already going out to this wedding. You want us to spend like $300 on this baking equipment? Like, and when I was asking someone about this, I was like, why does she literally need all this stuff? You know what I'm saying? Answer was, and I don't even know why I asked this question, because it was obvious. Her hobby is she loves to bake. Okay, that's it. She just loves. This is what she likes to do during her free time. She likes to bake, but it seems to cost her hundreds, I would even say thousands of dollars just to get this hobby going the way she wants it to go. It's like, this is what I'm talking about. Like, that's what stinks about this. How are you even gonna buy this stuff unless you really be grinding out in life and putting yourself or putting up with your personal responsibilities at the same time? You want thousands of dollars in baking equipment? Can you, bro? You got bills to pay. You got other stuff you got to take care of, and not everyone can have others pay for their lifestyle or get inheritance money or whatever. Rest of us got to do things, and eventually our dreams and hobbies just disappear, and we never get to it, or we get to it like years later or months later. It's sad, but such is life. You feel this like hobby guilt. You feel guilty for just picking up hobbies. And I hope to get to certain things I want to do. So I want to start doing someday, but time is short. And I'm conscious of all the other things I need to focus on that add more value to my life and that are more important. You just got to put the pleasure to the side. You got to be smart with your money and your decisions so you can have freedom. And that's kind of what sort of working towards at the same time, like, and listen, you got to choose your hobbies wisely too, at least based on how much it can balance with your other personal responsibilities. What do you guys think? I love you guys. Let me know down below. I'm out.